my first day of full-time work doing educational visits for RaptorXotics Falconry.
Ooh. Hello, welcome to this week's vlog. We've just got back, Georgia and I, from our first school visit since March. How ridiculous is that? And that is the nature of RaptorXotics, it's school education. We've changed out of our reasonably smart school clothes back into shorts because it's going to be about 30 degrees today, a couple of freak days of hot weather, and also stuff that's got stains on and rubbish because I'm going to be in the reptile room a lot of the afternoon, cleaning out enclosures as always. But first, let's have a look at the contents of the incubator. Pretty much finished now. We've got the last couple of clutches hatching. Let's show you what's coming and going on. First up, last two clutches of milk snake eggs. One from the natural coloured, or no, not the natural, the normal coloured white banded female. And they're just pipping now from their eggs. Look at this. So these slash marks here that look like they've been savaged, those eggshells, that's the egg tooth that the snake has on the end of its nose that falls off soon after hatching. That's to help it slash its way out of its egg. So these are hatching. These are coming up. They're looking pretty good. Not so sure about this one, but these are going to be hatching. They're laid within a day of each other, so we'll let these guys chill out. We've had so many milk snakes hatch this year. Let's get to the main event. My favourite snakes here at RaptorXotics, and a lot of these guys are hatching now. These are our false water cobras. Failed to breed them last year, bred them for 2 years before that. Thank goodness we've finally got some babies, because this year I'll be keeping a couple back to grow on myself. I've never kept any of my baby false water cobras back, and thankfully the plan is to hang on to some. So typically the year that I'm going to keep some back, there's a lot of dark snakes, not a lot of paler ones. So we've got a couple of what we call in the false water cobra kind of world in the UK, hypos, hypomelanistic, lacking a lot of black pigment. These are a naturally occurring colour form, and you can see again lots more hatching out of their eggs, eggs that have hatched, eggs that are hatching. So we're going to put these all together in a really small enclosure. The first week they're going to do not a lot, explore, and then they're going to get ready to shed their first skin. After that, they're going to be ravenous, and they're going to be such ravenous, greedy feeders, these false water cobras, that they'll eat each other. So we'll be splitting them up into individual enclosures and sex them. But look at these amazing animals. Let's see if any of them have got any reactions here to. You might see, maybe not at all. They're too well behaved to actually even spread their cobra-like hoods.
We've just finished at the second school of the week, and we're now at Icarus Falconry to sort out the birds and feed them. How did the schools go, Daddy?
Oh, very well. So one school split over 2 mornings. Standards Barn Primary, which is always a fantastic school, really attentive, well-behaved kids. So really nice to start off with a school that we know, love, and kind of not too worried about the kids' behaviour, because we know they're going to be really great, and they were. And then school tomorrow all day, and a school a bit earlier start the next day on Thursday, Birmingham. Another regular school, but another all-day school. And I have to say, the one on Thursday, it's an all-day school session, but actually it's the talks we could fit into a morning. Unfortunately, with COVID, the schools often having extended dinner breaks to try and separate their kids into, you know, smaller groups in the lunch hour or the hall, which is sort of annoying for us because it means we're at school all day when we don't need to be. We've always got so much else to do, but no problem at all. It's great to get back to school. Back at Icarus now, cleaning out animals.
So Dad is just buying a Harris hawk, and I've just let Shy out to have some food. She's just helping herself.
So people often ask us what we feed our sulcata tortoise and our Mediterranean tortoises. Now they're a different kind of food from each other, and a different kind of food from tropical tortoises, which like fruits and various other things in their rainforest diet. So sulcata grazer needs loads of roughage. Basically grazes grass all day long, and it'll pick out the weeds for itself, things like dandelions. When she goes away in her indoor quarters, we'll give her a variety of things. She does get a little handful of rabbit pellets occasionally. She does get a little bit of hay occasionally, but mostly come back natural food. So stinging nettles, this is for her supplementary diet and for our Mediterranean tortoises, which don't graze as much grass at all. Stinging nettles make your hands sting. Yeah, they make your hands sting. We've got plantains, narrow leaved, and maybe in here somewhere some more broader leaf plantains. Have a look at them, come closer, and then you can see what they're like. These are all perfectly good food. We've got thistles, perfectly good food. People think stinging nettles, they sting. Thistles prickle. It's a tortoise. It's designed, the ones from arid or Mediterranean regions, everything's prickly, stingy or thistly. Think about cacti. And if you haven't got access to cacti, a lot of them love cacti pads and succulents. These ice plants, they grow in any garden in the UK. They're a fantastic bee and butterfly plant, and the leaves, she'll probably eat one in a minute, the leaves are fantastic, and they're not far off a succulent or a cacti without the thistles. We've got, of course, the dandelion leaf, fantastic, and the dandelion flower. And I think today, that's pretty much what I've picked from our weed patch. It's a wildflower garden, is it? That's what it is, full of wildflowers. You might think they're weeds. And for Shy here, as well as our Mediterranean tortoises, this is great food for those animals. It's natural, good bit of fibre, lots of vitamins and minerals in there, but it's not just a load of bunch of water. Look at her go, she absolutely loves these ice plants here. So I'll pop these back in, because she's going back in, despite it being sunny. We're leaving sight now, and if we leave her to roam, who knows where she'll end up. Wednesday, day 3 of back to school with me and Georgia, myself and Georgia, and today is all day long, and we're talking birds of prey in short taster sessions to infuse a local school that over the summer has had a lovely outdoor classroom log cabin for nature-based studies built. They've had a lovely pond built, obviously fenced off and access with the teachers, but a wildlife area, a decent wildlife pond, one of the best things you can put anywhere to attract wildlife and view wildlife. So a school that's really starting to enthuse their children about the natural world. And we're here today to meet each year group for quite short sessions, just to enthuse them, and we're going to fly a couple of 3 birds in the hall, maybe meet Zeus the golden eagle, and maybe meet a tame rat. Hopefully they're going to have a great day, and so are we. We'll find out soon. Okay, just looked in the incubator to see if the last of the snakes are hatched. First off, all the milk snakes look like they're out. Come and have a look at these beauties. That's a lot of milk snakes, and that is our last milk snakes of 2020. Look at this one. There's also a late comer lot to the party. Still peeping his head out. Pretty much all out. But do you know what? We've seen a lot of milk snakes this year. Of course they're gorgeous. Of course they're exciting. What fantastic snakes to have. That's a beauty just there. But you know what I wanted to make sure of? Let's just pop these out of the way. I wanted to make sure my real babies had hatched. We had 9 out 2 days ago. Have a look at these. Look at these absolute stunners. Got some hypos or pale phase. Couple more. Don't forget we've already got 9 out, and these are the last ones. Some beautiful false water colour. They're such chunky babies. Absolutely full of yolk. That's going to last them quite a while. This is a nice dark one, and we're definitely for the first time ever going to hold some of these beauties back. I mean, look at the size of that for a hatchling snake. Look at that. That's crazy. Beautiful one. I think the 2 pale ones that hatched the other day are a little bit more interested than these 2. I do like that really big dark one there. Look how fat they are. But we'll see. We'll get them shedding their skins. That'll take about a week. We'll get them feeding. That'll take about 2 minutes with these false water cobras. We'll get them sexed. I'll be picking 2 or 3 or 4 that I want. I've got people that have already ordered, and then hopefully other ones will go to new homes in the near future. Once we know what we've got, how healthy they are, as long as they're eating, we'll go from there. But for now, We're going to put them all together till they've shed their skin, and then they're going to be split up individually so they don't eat each other. For those that don't know, most of these snakes don't need feeding and certainly don't want any food until they've shed their skin for the first time at around a week of age. After that, their appetite tends to kick in, and these gorgeous things will be eating like crazy, like only false water cobras can.
We're in Birmingham and we're on our lunch break, and we thought we'd come out of the school for a bit, get some fresh air.
So as Georgia said, we're at a local school. Well, no, not look. So as Georgia said, we're at a school and we're in Birmingham today at one of our regular schools at RaptorXotics, and we're teaching the kids, or helping the teachers teach the kids, all about predators. So we've done some birds of prey talks this morning, and we're going back this afternoon to talk about all variety of predators. So we've got some reptiles, some arachnids and so on, even a little tenrec. But because of COVID, the kids are having stupidly long lunch breaks because they can't have so many kids in the hall at any one time. So the lunch break for us is 2 hours long, which is obviously for us keeping animals valuable time where we could be driving home and having done our second 2 lessons. We want to get in and get out, if that makes sense, because we've always got animals to look after. So 2 hours, do we sit around town? Do we sit in the school car park? No, by the power of technology, we've gone onto Google Maps, 3 minutes drive up the road, and there's a lovely lake and a lovely country park. So we're just having a look round. We're getting away from the madding crowd around the lake. It's a lovely lake and there's people really enjoying it for their lunch breaks. And we're just in this little wildlife-y looking bit. We were hoping to find a little bit of rubbish, a little bit of rubbish, because we can flip that over and find some snakes. We'll see if we can find any reptiles here. A little bit of a mini herping trip in our lunch hour. We're right near town. This whole area is landlocked by town, if you like, by suburbia. Gotta tell you, this part of Birmingham around this lake, absolutely gorgeous, almost litter free completely. What a sort of an amazing thing to say for the people around here. They come around here, instead of chucking their litter around that we've all been reading about in the newspaper, this place is kept really, really nicely. So harder to find snakes, oddly enough. We're just going to have a wander some more before we go back and meet those children again later. Well, we're heading back to Northamptonshire, to where we live, from Birmingham. That was the last school visit this week, so it was a pretty busy week of school visits, considering I've not actually been to school since March. Actually quite mentally draining when you're not used to kind of entertaining, in that way for so long, but brilliant school, regular school. We got away in good time. We managed to grab a drink at McDonald's, the rubbishy fast food restaurants are available, but it served the purpose. And we're heading home now, about an hour's drive. And I'm sure at home there'll be plenty of animal enclosures to clean out. We've got the animals to snuggle back into their enclosures that have accompanied us today. But all in all, good to be back. Great to see some kids learning about nature. We'll do it all again soon, I'm sure. Well, I hope this week's vlog gave you a bit of insight into what Raptor Exotic does, because obviously we've only been starting really vlogging since lockdown began with the coronavirus, and we are finally back to work, back to school. But before we go, I'll just show you 2 of my rather favourite snakes, black-headed pythons from Australia. These things are absolutely beautiful. I'm not really mad on pythons and boas, to be honest, anymore. I kind of diddled that kind of thing when I was a kid. But these, they're more like colubrids, more like sort of normal snakes, if that's the right word. They're very different from pythons that we kind of know, like the Burmese and the reticulated and the royal pythons. Slender-bodied, get to a reasonable size, but just look at the patterns and markings on this, combined with that inky black head. Absolutely beautiful creatures. Now, they're growing well. This one here is female, growing on, and this one's a year older. Oh, and he's our male. Australian black-headed pythons. I love them. Hope you enjoyed the vlog. Like and subscribe. Please do subscribe if you can, because it actually helps us and it encourages us. And to be honest, every time we get a new subscriber, we think, okay, we'll carry on. Also, of course, comment below if there's things you'd like to see. If you want to see more owls, more falconry, more birds of prey in general, more snakes, more British wildlife, comment below and we'll do our best to fill that content for you in up and coming vlogs. But for now, and my beautiful black-headed pythons, good night.